If you all have not been aware of what's going on in the news, a young brother by the name of Tyre Nichols was brutally murdered by the police in Memphis a couple of weeks ago. Uh, this past Friday, what is weekend? I don't the exact date, but this past weekend, the footage of his
Demise.
Execution.
his execution was released, um, and people were able to see what exactly transpired with his interaction with the police, as opposed to reading about it
Hmm.
from the police. The
Yeah.
two accounts were vastly different. One just recanted the story of a traffic stop that went a little bit of askew, but was ultimately contained and corralled by the responding officers, and all the parties went on their respective ways. The actuality of the events that evening were that
These five
six
bitch ass
six
cops.
hold on, six individuals brutalized this young man, Tyre Nichols, one evening after a traffic stop for which every supervisor on the force has, to my knowledge, to this date, has stated there was no probable cause for pulling over this vehicle. So he was pulled over for driving erratically. And upon being pulled over, I don't know exactly what happened because I didn't watch the video. But from the accounts that I've read, he was removed from the car and then he was accosted. He attempted to get away from the police that were violating his civil rights. And he was further subjugated to beating and tasing and things of that nature, to the point where he was he was required to go to the hospital, and then subsequently, I believe 3 days later, he passed. Okay, so the story as we have it is that these six motherfuckers that work for the Memphis Police Department pulled over this individual because reasons, and then proceeded to beat the shit out of him and tase him over the course of I don't know however long, because who the fuck want to calculate how long it takes for you to beat a motherfucker till he dies? But
Mm.
they did it. They for sure gonna figure the fuck it out. How many times I can kick, hit, smack, punch, and tase a motherfucker until their body just gives out. That's what they want to figure out. So story
It's
goes, it was
four body
five.
cams too.
It was no body cam of this actual incident. There was a what they call it, one of those violence interruption lights, one of those that was actually there that recorded this incident, because they made for damn sure that they body cam was cut off. I thought,
Mm.
except for that one that tased them, right?
It's four body cams.
All of them body cams was on.
No, it was seven officers. It was four. They got four body cams though.
Oh, they got four body cams, so three of them cut them off.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. I just know they got four. I don't know if they're not releasing the other three because
Okay.
the angles that you see are tentative. I've only watched
Mm,
two. One of the videos is two of the body cams spliced together.
okay.
Two of the other videos is two different body cams. I've watched two of the videos. I haven't watched the last video that's just surfacing of Preston Hemphill, the white officer, because that is the video of the initial aggressor. That is who pulled him over. That is who began to tase him as he began to run. But the other officers were already on scene as this was unfolding. They were pulling up. Like,
Mm.
so I didn't watch that video because it was the last to surface, and I was fed up with the shit by that point.
Right, right.
All right, so as the one who has seen it, all right, so can I ask you, all right, did he start running before or after they started whooping his ass?
I
Again,
thought I thought they were whoop. You asking him and me because I thought what I read. I thought they were they was whooping his ass and then he started to run
the
and
videos
then
I
they whooped his
saw,
ass some more.
again,
After.
that's what I'm saying. I don't know which came first, the chicken or the egg. The videos that I saw, they were already in full
Uh,
on whipping his ass.
okay.
But that wasn't the initial contact. The initial contact was the video I didn't watch.
Mm.
But in the thumbnail of that, you see the white officer already with his taser drawn and Tyree halfway gone. So I don't know what condition he was in that. That's the video I haven't watched. I don't know what condition he was in. I don't know if they was already whipping his ass. All you see in the thumbnail is the white boy draw down on him from his chest, and you see Tyree good 2 car lengths away. So ain't no telling what transpired in that video. Like I said, I was just done with it by that point. You couldn't explain nothing he could have did in that video was even worth watching for whatever edification I needed to explain the other video. And
Right.
he couldn't have did shit in that video that was
Right.
other video. So why the fuck I need to watch The Passion of the Christ Part 1? I caught the crucial. I caught the crux of it. I caught the cross. I didn't need to see the I caught him on it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I don't know. I don't know if they had already whooped his ass or if he. But that again, that's even moot. If they
Yeah.
upped on him and he took off and they hadn't been whooping his ass already,
But
still didn't deserve to die.
but
He didn't.
since you've seen the video,
Did you see the tasing video?
that's what he said. I thought you saw the whole thing.
No, I think he's seen the one that I saw. The one that
No, I ain't seen none of it. That's why I asked you because I haven't seen
I
none
thought
of it.
You said as the person that said, "Oh, I thought you had seen it." Okay.
No, I
Nah,
didn't see the
that's
tasing
why
video.
I'm asking him
The only video
to find out.
the only video I saw was of his final moments. I saw the video of them once it looked like he was already in submission, but that was from I guess the angle that you were talking about, the whatever camera, because it wasn't none of their body cams. And then
It was one of those one of the blue lights on the pole.
right, so
Well, we call them the blue lights here.
it was a considerable distance, but it seemed closer than it seemed
Them
closer.
motherfuckers got some zoom in them now. I mean,
Then that might have been what it is, but it had audio and full everything on that
they had
motherfucker.
the audio too. I ain't know, and I ain't know you could do. Well, they do the shots. They do the shot shit, so it should have some type of audio component to it too.
I don't know. I'm not a criminal any longer. I don't have to know that.
I mean, I know on my phone, if I zoom in on some shit, it'll focus on that conversation that I zoom in on. We was at the water park, and Candace filmed me talking to Gavin, trying to teach him how to swim in the water, and we was a ways away, and it's a lot of people like around, and it focused on me talking to him, talking about just straightening and kicking all the other shit. So technology's a motherfucker. So I can see a world, huh?
I said, what an implant she got on you working?
Or I might be mic'd up all the time. That's what it was.
But yeah, so on the second video I saw, it was that video was of the same exact incident as the cherry picker video, but of body cam footage. All of it was obtuse and over the line, man. Like I said, some of these guys were clearly frustrated at what was transpiring, and they were the harbingers of their own frustration. So they can't then take it out on the person that got them frustrated. Y'all, this is a relatively, I don't want to minimize this man, but he's a relatively thin guy. And it's 5 of y'all plus 2. Now, these other 2 guys wasn't in none of the subsequent videos, but they were clearly initiators.
Well. Let's not. Let's not give credit where credit is due.
Yeah, like I said,
This motherfucker was just not in there in name only.
You said it was a
The
cherry pick,
individual
but that
the,
video was mighty
that
goddamn close. That might have
that
been his
sixth
personal camera.
that sixth individual um is said to have tased
Tased him. That
Mr.
set this
Nichols.
whole thing in motion. Like I said, I didn't watch that one, but from that video, you could see that it was the cop car he was at. You could see it was another cop car here. You could see like kind of a partner over here, but you could clearly see the taser drawn down, and you could see Tyree like center
Mhm.
fold. It was almost like fucking one of them Hollywood James Gunn. I had lost all of them in that moment. It's like James Gunn had framed that how perfectly centered he was framed with that taser on his ass, like perfectly.
It was definitely there. Now, as I step away for a quick second, I'm gonna pull a pin, drop this one in, and I'll be right back. Um, Now it's been reported by several outlets that there may
Allegedly,
have allegedly that there was allegedly some
kiss.
crossover in interaction with Mr. Nichols and one of the officers in question. Mr.
Mhm.
Nichols and the mother of the child of one of the officers are said to have both worked at the same Federal Express facility, and that they may have known each other, and that there may have been some sort of relationship, and that the reason that Mr. Nichols was pulled over for driving erratically, while all evidence points to him driving perfectly fine before being pulled over, could be interpreted as somehow personal, and maybe he was targeted because of his acquaintance with an individual that one of the officers was involved with or had been involved with. Uh, as I step away for a quick second, what do you
Well, yeah,
guys
I'll speak
thoughts
to
on
that
that?
because the whole thing did. It seemed the whole situation was kind of off for the simple fact that the force that was used, it, and this is why before I got, I'm sad that I made a snap judgment before I got the full crux of what was going on. Because I posed a question in there: is it ever okay to lose your cool in that position? Because I can understand the frustration of motherfuckers. And I didn't know the kid had died at that point. I just seen the video circulating before I saw it because I'm not really watching no news, reading no news, or nothing. I kind
Mhm.
of get my news from social media, and then
And
uh,
then do your research afterwards.
and then I vet it. So I
Right.
kind of stay out of the loop because I don't want that energy in my motherfucking psyche until it's necessary. In this case, I feel like it's necessary. We all need to be abreast of this type of shit because it could be any
It,
one of us. I hate to
it
say that
could
shit,
be
so
us.
cliche, but these motherfuckers is doing this shit at a tick where they starting to allow rappers to be killed. And they allowing black men to be assassinated. Like it's like their plot is either assassination or assimilation. It ain't no in between. There's
Mm.
no coexistence allowed in this shit. And what that looked like in this video is those two factions at war. It looked like black men that have assimilated attacking one that wouldn't. Because from
Mm.
a cursory standpoint, it looked like they were just trying to get him to put his hands behind his back, and he was refusing. But once you get the further context of that, he was already in fear for his life, coupled with
Right.
the fact that these stops go wrong so frequently. And now he's already in the middle of a stop gone wrong.
Yeah,
Bro,
you are in your worst fear.
I'm not putting my hands away neither.
Mm-mm.
Talk to me. Tell me why y'all got me like this. Like, if
Hmm.
you gonna shoot me, it's gonna be through my hands into my face.
Yeah,
It ain't gonna be just no fucking face shot. I know that
right.
sounds stupid, but I'm
But
a
yeah,
I'm
comply is.
tall up.
Hmm.
I'm in fear. I'm in fear mode. I've tried flight mode. I can't fight you 5 armed motherfuckers.
Hmm.
So I'm definitely balling up. It's just the case is happening.
It's human instinct.
I haven't thrown a single punch. I haven't taken any type of offensive posturing. I'm literally don't have my hands behind my back, but they to my side, and I'm trying to tuck my head into my shoulders like they can go in that motherfucker. So
Like you trying to comply as best as you can while trying to survive.
I'm trying to even understand what you're saying to me right now to comply. I'm
Right.
in my motherfucking mind. This is putting my hands where they need to be because
Right.
I'm not moving, and clearly I'm not trying to punch. But you have both of my arms. So this one nigga got me here. They got me pinned like this. One nigga got my arm, one nigga got this arm. I don't understand what y'all can't subdue at this point. So I didn't understand what was going on. You can't tell the strength of Tyree. He may have been holding these two bulky niggas at bay, but I highly doubt it. So I don't know what the commands were for. Now you got a whole separate motherfucker punching him in his face. So clearly, if he could defend himself, he wouldn't
He
be
would.
taking that.
You're right.
So why are you still hollering, put your hands behind your back? Why are you punching him in his face and he going like this with his head? Because he can't literally put his hands up. So that's what made the shit look more frustration and intentional than just a simple roadside stop that went wrong.
Hmm.
Like he's punching this nigga in his face, yelling commands that he clearly can't comply to. I don't know what this officer was thinking. Like, what could you possibly be thinking other than I'm trying to harm this man?
Yeah. I need you to. I need you to accept all of this anger that I have to give someone. And like there's no win in that situation, and it's a fucked up position to be in where you can't win for shit. Like you can't do what's needed to stop because you don't know what to do to stop, and even if you did know, you can't control yourself in order to do it.
Bro, and they have been whooping him for so long. You can almost feel like you can almost feel that in the moment in which them niggas got tired and like, damn, I wish I said he had a gun on him. Like you can hear the I'm tired and punching this nigga in the nigga voice. One of the niggas pulled a baton out, hit him a couple times. Like I don't know what they're trying to subdue. Like what were they trying? They was trying to break his spirit. They had no other choice because they had his hands. He couldn't put
Mhm.
him behind his back. It's 5 of y'all, and now when they got him on the ground, he was barely conscious, and they still hollering. Now they kicking him in his face. They got him on the ground. 5 of these niggas, and he's not putting his hand. His hands is to his side. His hands was pinned to his side the entire time. The nigga didn't look like he was flailing, kicking. He definitely wasn't kicking his legs. Like he could have been putting up a resistance for the ass whooping that he was receiving. He could have put up some type of resistance. He clearly wasn't. What he wasn't doing was complying to their satisfaction.
Mm.
But from my viewpoint, it would look like he was being impeded. He couldn't comply. Y'all had his arm. So
And
where can he put him?
and
Now, if
and
y'all was saying he was iron crossing y'all, or iron crossing y'all from this position, because this is where his hands was most of the time. Like 2 grown men, one each arm. And y'all telling him to put his hands behind the back. Put his hands behind the back.
mm.
Like it wasn't computing.
At
And
what
so
point?
from what it sounds like, it sounds like there's not a level of compliance that would have saved him.
None.
At what point do we deem it in, deem it inexcusable for you to punch somebody in the face because they don't move their hands where you want to move them? Like it has to be a point. It has to be a position where that's not a point where that's not okay.
It's
to
very
get you to
seldom
get you
over
to I mean, it should never to get you to put your hands behind your back. I should not
there.
be able to punch you in your face. Now, if you're actively hitting, flailing, punching other people, something like that,
Those
then
cases, yeah. That's why I say it's tentative. There is some situations where I think you might need to put the hands on them.
yeah, some. But if I'm doing this, if I'm just if I'm just a situation, if I'm just an object that will not be moved,
Yes, you shouldn't be allowed to use that type of force.
corporal punishment.
No way,
Period.
no way, shape, or form.
And I feel like they finna slam these niggas. I feel like they finna throw these niggas in jail for a long ass time.
I
Oh,
feel like they
they
finna
finna give it to
ask
him.
us, what do y'all want? Do y'all want justice,
Mm-hmm.
or do y'all
Fam,
want just
fam,
us?
fam. They not finna ask us anything. These 5 individuals, and I said 5 on purpose. I know I said 6 earlier. I said 5 just now.
It's 7 because
I ain't even know about the 7th.
I told you that white boy had a
I know,
partner.
and until you said it, I didn't even know about the 7th. I just thought it was the 6th. The one sneaky motherfucker that they let
Preston
slide.
Hemphill and his partner.
Preston Hemphill
We're
was
gonna
the
keep
one they
his
let
name
slide.
known because they definitely trying to not to have it out here.
After that,
Preston Hemphill.
facts. So
PRESTON HEMPHILL. Preston Hemphill.
right,
Preston Hip Hill.
right. So Preston Hemphill, I'm not so sure he's gonna receive any punishment for this. No ramifications might come to him. But there are 5 individuals that I know are gonna
Mm-hmm.
have a day of reckoning, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any of you all are gonna see less than 25 years in jail. Any of you all, and if that link is actually proved to be true, all of you all are going to jail forever. And I don't know if Tennessee got the death penalty, but it seems like one of those states that would have like a chair
Yeah.
or a
They definitely
room
got one left over.
or a
Memphis
room
been
or a room they
wild.
or a room they inject you in somewhere. Oh yeah, Memphis definitely been wilding.
It could
But
have been up the block with Shorty. And all this wouldn't even been an issue. Everybody would have been relaxed at that precinct.
yep.
You see this
Hey,
type of shit ain't going on down there with her.
Speaking of things not going
Also,
on down there with her and 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 there and there and there. If our producer can pull up the chief that is heading up this investigation into these officers, the young woman,
young black.
the young black woman who is the chief of police down there. I don't know if she's chief of police or she's just chief of that unit or that district. But I think she's the head of Memphis PD. I feel like I'm saying a lot of shit that's not true tonight.
Like it. Put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments.
He's to the right.
But yeah, but she came from the Atlanta Metro Police Department.
Uh-oh.
And she was over a unit there, which is very similar to what is this unit they call it? The Scorpion unit up here?
Called fresh off a nigga's ass and you making a homesick.
No, but they called it the Scorpion unit in Memphis. They had another unit in Atlanta that was the exact same style unit.
Red Dogs.
Was it Red Dogs?
All this niggas on the road tonight. Red Dogs hit my drive, got me 4 episodes. Traveling home, ain't waiting to get home. Her in the bed, she ain't got no panties on.
Okay, so her name CJ Davis. I thought she had an actual first name, not no letters.
Hey, she nice.
She is not nice.
What?
She is not. She is not nice. She has been at the helm of Negroes being brutalized.
I'm talking about her looks, nigga.
Right.
He's locking me up. It's his officer.
Hey. The department that she was in charge of in Atlanta was shut down because it was so corrupt and there were so many complaints. Sarah Davis. Yeah. Sarah CJ. I don't recall the CJ. Sarah Davis. It was something stupid. But Sarah Lynn Davis.
Say Sarah Lynn Davis. She come to the door. An officer was killed serving a high traffic warrant in Echo Park. Shit gets deeper.
No, not that. But no, she was in charge of a unit in Atlanta that was notorious for brutalizing people's civil rights. And then she goes to Memphis and becomes the chief of police. So she gets a promotion after fucking motherfuckers up.
So my reference was too deep. I'm sorry.
A little bit. But she gets a promotion after fucking niggas up, and then goes there and continues to fuck people up. At what point do we hold this individual also accountable for the actions that they perpetuate? Because now we got a track record that follows this individual. This is national now. If she was a rapper, they get this bitch on a RICO. Interstate. You was corrupt in Georgia, now you corrupt in Tennessee. Come on, bitch. Nah, you can't do that shit. But we just she's just getting the pass, and we just letting her slide right the fuck on through. We giving her claps and pats on the back for coming down on these on the five other officers. I refuse to call them brothers. But on those 5 other officers, they giving her all these kudos for coming down on them swiftly and with extreme prejudice and swift malice of judgment and all. Bitch, it was your plan. They running the plays out of your book.
I don't know who called that one.
Oh, you forgot step 28. Don't get caught.
That's Los Angeles Police Department narcotics officer was killed today serving a high-risk warrant in Echo Park. Give me the bitch. LAPD spokesperson says the officer survives by his wife and infant child. Shit gets deeper.
Shit gets deeper. If you are not familiar, you need to go ahead and get retrained one day. Boom.
See my reference now, nigga? It's from a fucking group of shitty cops.